Welcome to Life on Life Terms. We're here today at CWF's Toy Drive, and we're going to be showing the Christmas spirit and exactly what life in communities is all about. Thank you. Hi, and welcome to Life on Life Terms. My name is Adeline, and I'm here with Tracy Woodall, and we're going to be interviewing her with regards to how she's giving back to the community after she dealt with a catastrophe of a fire in her home right around the holidays. Tracy was sharing with me that a few years back she had an electrical fire in her apartment and she lost everything. Her kids were very small and she had lost hope. And in getting together with the news and talking on the news and interviewing, she was able to connect with Chief from CWF, and he actually gave her a Christmas that they would never forget. Tracy, can you elaborate on that, sweetie?
Yeah, just coming back and being here at this time just brings back the memories of seeing the family and everything. It was a rough year in 2005.
Sure.
October, I lost my father in 2000. That same year, 2008 actually of '08, and then December came, and all of a sudden, the fire happened. So I just felt like it was just like one over the other.
Devastation.
It was devastating, and it was very overwhelming.
I'm sure.
And my children were about 6 and 7 at the time. And when I came home and just saw my house just gone, and I just didn't know what to do. So the Bronx 12 News came in, and they covered the story.
Okay.
And I just remember falling on my knees because all I was thinking about was Christmas and my children.
What am I gonna do?
And wondering like, how am I going to get them gifts and toys because I lost everything. And Brother Bias happened to see it on the news, and he called me up and he told me, well, look, I'm doing a community give back where I'm giving gifts, bring your kids. So I said, okay, I thought that was nice. And I brought the kids not expecting, just
Much,
a couple of gifts,
right?
And when they got there and they had, it was just a little section for them. It was just
wow.
wrapped up, and my son
I'm
and
sure
my
it was
daughter.
very emotional.
I couldn't stop crying because their eyes lit up and they were like, oh, Mom. I just, that was it for me. I'm just thinking about it. I'm even tearing up. And
You're gonna make me
yeah,
tear,
yeah. It just really touched me, and it just let me know that there's people out there that still care. And I'm sorry if I'm crying right now.
You're fine. You're fine.
Because when you give,
Right.
I'm a giving person, and when you can find someone that has the same heart like you, and they give it, and my kids were just so happy, it just touched my heart.
Oh my
And
goodness.
it wasn't just Brother Bias; it was his whole family, his wife, his family, and just the love that was in that whole thing.
Right.
And then like every year he would call my kids to come back, and when they came back, they got the gifts, but it wasn't even about the gifts. After they got their gifts, they was like, Mommy, can we put the gifts down and just give? So they would get their gifts and they would put it down, and they would help Brother Bias give the gifts to the rest of the kids. So they even learned the importance of giving back.
Right.
And that also really touched my heart. And I wanted them to understand the importance of giving back to your
Right,
community.
right.
So with
I'm
that,
emotional, sorry.
so with all of the stuff that he's done, and he touched my heart in such a way, and he always checked up on me every year to see how I was doing, how the kids were doing. It inspired me to do a lot of stuff in the community. So now I'm the VP of a nonprofit organization called Seaball, where we deal with kids 6 to 18 years old, and we do Thanksgiving events. We give free food to the
Fantastic.
community. We do toy giveaways. We take them to basketball. I work with a nonprofit organization called Seaball, where we do a lot of giving back in the community. It's in the Bronx, and we work with 6 to 18-year-olds. And we just recently did our Thanksgiving event where we give, a free dinners to the community. We also give toy giveaways. We do peace dinners for 13 to 17-year-olds where they have a safe party, where they have a dinner. We teach them table etiquette, and they also get comedy. We just hooked up with Caroline, so they're gonna have comedy from Caroline's,
Interesting.
and we also have a live DJ.
Right.
So, because a lot of our teens are lacking that social aspect, and it's not safe for them, so we link up with the community officers, affairs officers. So now they're chaperones, and it's a safe event, and they have a great time.
Fantastic.
So
and this organization is based out of the Bronx.
based
correct?
out of the Bronx, and we cater to all the kids in the Bronx. We go out through District 1 through 12. So we try to make sure we cater to as many kids as we possibly can.
Did you guys hear that? Seabold, okay?
Yeah, Seaball. And if you're interested in being a member, it's free. So you can just log on to www.c-ball.org and you could sign up, and you could also be a part of everything that we're doing for the kids.
Amazing, Tracy. And
Yes.
you're actually giving back and paying forward.
Yes.
And that's always a good thing to see, especially during the holidays when so much stuff is going on in the news and we don't really hear about the good things. We only hear about the bad. The holidays are times for people to give and for people to share. And
That's
Tracy,
right.
you're sharing, and I thank you
Thanks.
for that.
And I'm just so grateful. And I know you did ask me a question. You said, like, in what can I say to others that may be
Yes.
going through or may have lost
Yes.
something?
Yes.
I just wanted to inspire someone that may be going through, I may have had an issue or went through something I went through. Is don't close yourself up in a ball. Don't tell it, because if it wasn't for Bronx 12 News for me to say that I didn't know how am I going to give my kids a Christmas, Brother Bias never would have been able to reach out to me. So you have to say what you're going through. If you're too embarrassed to say it, there could be someone that's right there with the gift in their hand that can't give it because you didn't say what you're going through. So don't be afraid to communicate. That's the time when you need people the most.
You're right about that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Adeline. I'm here with Chief Baez and Isaac Rodan Jr. How are you guys?
Good, thank God.
We're here today taking a little bit of time out from this very important event that we're doing here, CWF's Toy Drive, in conjunction with Life on Life Terms. We are here giving to the community, giving to the children in our future gifts, toys, anything that's going to make them pep up and be happy about receiving something for the holidays. Again, the holidays are about giving. We're giving back to the community. We're doing things that are going to make our children happy because they may not be as fortunate as others to be able to do so. Chief Baez, aquí estamos.
God bless everybody here. I'm just happy to be here again with Life on Life Terms and Chaplains Workers Federation, Chaplains Workers Task Force, all working in conjunction for one thing for the community. As you know, Life on Life Terms has a program. I want everybody to tune in. At the end, you will give them the link to get on. And also on Channel 70. And we're just here to give toys to the kids. Oh, hold on. This is a very important lady. She needs toys.
Very important phone call. We'll turn it over to Isaac.
Okay.
Isaac, so tell us about this.
Well-
How long have you been doing this, and how important is this to you?
Well, this is my first time getting together, giving away toys with the chief. But I've been with chaplaincy for over 2 years now, and it is something that it puts happiness in my heart. No matter what I've been through the week, this stuff right here just makes me happy because there's a lot of unfortunate kids out there that don't have toys, don't have nobody to give them anything. So we, as a cohesive unit, come together and give them something that way, because these are people that in later time they're going to be the ones, we're going to pass the torch to them. So we need to get them in a way where they can continue on their education, continue on their life with God, and spread a little joy with them.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you for that. And some of the things that I've seen here with this community event is that the kids come in here and their faces light up and they have all these smiles on their faces. And as you see while they're playing here with the toys, that, life to them is about that. It's about playing. It's about having stuff. And I think that we actually assist the parents also with feeling a little better, because they may not be able to buy those toys and they may not be able to do the things that they want to do for their children. And we here in the community are able to spread some of that information and spread some of that wealth by giving them these things and making them happy. And it's something that touches my heart, because I see so many children that are without and that are living in shelters and that are doing things that they shouldn't be doing at their age. This is what they should be doing: playing with toys and enjoying life and not having to deal with the stresses that we deal with every day. And what's your take on that? How do you feel about that?
Well, I feel when I was young, there wasn't too much of this activity going on, and the reason for that is because there wasn't a lot of. Today we live in a society where there's a lot of things that's in your path it kind of takes your attention away from what you actually have to focus on. So, as you mentioned, we have to sometimes help out the parents because their minds are somewhere else and their kids are somewhere else, so they're not focusing on taking care of their kids. So we feel responsible as people on the earth to take care of them, not in the way their parents should take care of them, but help them. A little help and help them to carry on in their goals.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. And CWF is doing a great job in the community. We were here before for Thanksgiving. We're here again for Christmas. And it's a good collaboration. I see a lot of good things coming down the road. I'm Madeline, your host, and I'm going to be introducing Josh today. He is another host from Life on Life Terms who's going to be dealing with the more, cool stuff, the stuff Adeline can't cover. No, just joking. It's just Josh, this is up Josh's lane, and it's going to involve music. We're actually branching into different areas of community life, and music is a big part of community life. And I'm glad to pass the reign and the microphone to Josh, who's going to be handling that stuff today. And we're going to be holding our first cipher. Is that what it's called, Josh?
Yes, a cipher.
Okay,
yes.
a cipher. See, I'm not good for this stuff. But anyway, Josh, so are you nervous? Are you ready? Are you anxious? What can we expect from you today?
A little bit of anxiousness, a little bit of nervousness, but I have to deal with what comes next with all that. It's all about experience and going forward, seeing where all this can take me.
And what is the most exciting part of this today?
The exciting part about it is just the experience. See, what upcoming artists are doing. How music motivated them and going forward on their projects.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's something that we all seem to wonder is what makes an artist do lyrics and songs and beats and stuff like that. And a lot of it correlates with Life on Life Terms and what Life on Life Terms means. And I think people use different things as an outlet to let go of certain anxieties and stresses and things of that nature. And I'll always go back to those kinds of topics because that's where I'm good at. But with that, Josh, we're here during Christmas time, and we're also here at the toy drive. What's your take on community life? What's your take on what we do here in the community?
I mean, I feel it's great. If you have a community that can come together and do things like this, toy drives and stuff like that for the children. This is all for the children to put smiles on their faces. Some of these parents can't afford to get all this expensive stuff. So, this helps them out a little bit like, you got this for Christmas. So it keeps a smile on the kids' faces.
Yeah, and that's all this is about. It's about community life, making our kids happy. They're our future, and they're what we have to look forward to. So I want to take this time to actually wish everyone a very happy holiday, Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, and Happy Kwanzaa. I'm missing one, Hanukkah. And to all that I've forgotten, again, happy holidays. This is a very important time for family and for communities, and I'm glad that I'm part of it.
Yeah, same here. Happy holidays to everyone. Like you said, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah. It's all about togetherness. It's all about family time. If you can do that, you're set. It's all about the holidays. All about feeling good. All that good stuff and whatnot.
All right, Josh. We'll see you later at 203rd Cypher.
Yes, 203rd. Stay tuned. There's more to come.
rather learn something than just pretend I know it all day. You know what I mean? For me. That's why I fell in love with it. So I totally agree with you.
Yeah, I like to learn too.
Man, it's when you learn a effect or how to do something, it's like, oh, you want me to answer that?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm
It's a
Yeah.
it's a general.
And like, I think sometimes it could just happen. It's like, you know, it's like a dog. Sometimes you can get a dog that's aggressive. I've had dogs. People are like, man, you trained your dogs like that? And I'm like, nah, I didn't at all. But I didn't stop him from letting him know that aggression was bad. So I kind of did train him that he was bad. But honestly, he was just born with some aggression, you know. I think, you know, just like a lot of things, just, you know, I think things can play a part, but, you know, you're born with it, you know, like the controversial one, you know, some people will say you're born gay, you know.
Yeah.
I don't even want to speak on that, you know, get my opinion on that, but you know what I mean? Like, some people really believe that you're 0 years old and you're gay. Society had nothing to play with it, being your surroundings, like, you know. Yeah. Salute to everything. No, like, I have no problem with being born gay. I just want to say that.
Right.
People that I have no problem with gays. I do not. No, nothing. No problem.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I mean, like you
Just
said,
wanna put
this
that
video
out
was
there.
reviewed after the fact, so being forgive. If you say something bad, if he has said something that offended somebody, or me, or you, can we not forgive and say, yeah, you know, I effed up, you know, and that doesn't mean that the quality and content of my life is not stay in this moment right here because I admitted something so egregious. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that justifies it. I'm just saying that, can we not understand that you can forgive? Monday it'll be, you know, but I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, it's okay. It's
You know,
the temperament decided today. Sorry about that.
a lot of times the problem is that we don't like just accept people for who they are, where they are. Like, for example, what I mean by that is, like, you think and feel off your experiences. So things that people say or think or feel are off their experiences in life, things that they've gone through in life. My opinion of both of you gentlemen is solely based on me. It has nothing really to do with you. It's my experiences. It's me. My opinion is mine only, because somebody else who meets both of you gentlemen is going to have a totally different opinion about you. Based off of their experiences. So each person, like, when we speak off of who we are today at that moment, the experiences that have brought us to who we are at that moment. Does that mean that we don't grow or change our mind later? I might change my fucking mind 10 minutes from now because one of you may say something that changes my perspective. Do you see what I'm saying? So why can't we just accept people for who they are right now at that moment? You know, shit. Sometimes we fuck up. We say stupid shit. Sometimes we say things we didn't necessarily mean it to be how it sounded, you know, gets misconstrued. Sometimes we don't use the right words. Like, so it might not be like I said, what it sounded. It's not what
I agree with both of you, but that's not how society works. If I mess up and say the wrong thing, that can be it.
He was actually that way. He was saying that in your favor because of what you said.
No, I agree with both of you guys.
I'm following along, so if I lose myself, I'm with it. This is new to me.
I know he was doing it in my favor.
Yeah.
But the thing is I agree, but you do really got to be careful, because what you can say, you know, what, like me talking about it could be, you know,
can be offensive, but that's okay. So
it's the same thing with it. It's the same thing. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. It's the same thing with white people having to tiptoe around about racial issues. They got tiptoe. I can storm in a room because I'm black. White people, they really got to be really careful about how they word things, or you will be a racist. You know, like.
But this is, I'm sorry to interrupt, but this is the levels of what you're initiating. I'm not pulling away from the issue, but this is the levels of what you asked me about anxiety. You see the levels. You see, it's not that we went on a tangent. In general, different topics, but these are the levels of stress and anxiety that we deal with. And as an African American man, a black man, an African man, we already know we can go in so many different directions. We're here to learn because these are what you're feeling. You see what I'm saying? It's what you're feeling. Gotta respect it for whatever and learn, but not necessarily attack. And that's when we get into, like when you say white women, well then what about black men? What else? You see what I'm saying? But then it gets all the way back into maintaining, I guess, where you at and how you maintain your anxiety and how you doing. That's nobody perfect. You know what I mean? Nobody perfect. So I'm just saying, come back to anxiety and bringing that back to your question to me about, you know, bringing something to the table.
I wonder if, like, do you think that society creates, like, the social constraints? Do you think that type of stuff creates anxiety in people?
Sure. And sorry to overtalk, but on Facebook, I write under my name, I'm a social deconstructionist. Because in my heart, no matter where we go with doing the stinky leg or, you know, doing, talking about Karen or whatever it is, the conversation, or, you know, whatever the ethnicity or whatever it is, there are people left out, period. We don't know about them, they don't talk. And that must be a hard life to live, maybe not, but to not feel accepted and acceptance of things like that. I think society is majority socially constructed. And it's just not fair. I'm not saying that life shouldn't be fair, but there's that group of people. How would you feel if you was dumb? Because you're keeping it real. You keeping it real. You keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? And that right there is like, if you're not down, because you can't, let's kill it. If you're not down because you can't dance, get out my face. You can't even come to the club. Why would you come to a club? Why would you come to a social gathering? Because you can't do it. This is where I am. I was just saying, it's something level. But in anxiety, you know, dealing with that, there's a lot of difference in how people feel because of it. A lot, maybe acceptance is one, you know. So that was, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, they get deep like that. I care about people who are not accepting, people who don't have a voice and all that. It just must suck. It must suck. Must suck, period. Your dress is ugly. You suck in my mind because I'm going to show you in my behaviors. But, you know, that goes to different levels.
You're just cute in a motherfucker, first off.
I'm just saying, people can say it sucks, but then they could attack you by negative comments. They could attack you. I have a wisdom. All you're doing is trying to prosper. I respect you because look what you're trying to do about women in society today, talking about this type of stuff, keeping it real. Much respect. And you open the door for anything. So much respect and keep on and prosper. For real. That's some tough moves you're doing.
I'm a tough chick. So yeah, you got to do what you got to do in this world to survive. And I definitely I was built for this. So it's okay. I have noticed though lately on Facebook, I've been seeing people talking more about their own like mental health though. And I've seen a lot of people saying, you know, like that they're going through a tough time right now. And I know a lot of people maybe are locked in their house. Some people aren't working still, you know, things like that. Money's probably tight in some ways, you know.
It's crazy.
That you know, people are really going through it is my point behind that. People are going through it. People are confused. People are scared. People are panicking. There's a lot of mental health just discombobulation and confusion going on right now, I think. And my heart just goes out to people because, you know, we all deal with our own stuff. We all have our own levels. And nobody's mentally fucking perfect. I promise you that. There's not a single motherfucker on this earth that is mentally sound and perfect. No, nobody. But we all have our own different levels of things that we go through, you know? So that's why I asked, like, what do you think about society and the pressure that it puts on people? I think people are going under a lot of pressure right now, and that they need some outlets. I'm gonna try to find a hotline or something number to put
No,
Okay.
man. Sorry, go ahead, Rose.
to talk.
Oh.
You know what I mean? In this time.
Yeah, totally agreed. I think it's again. I think the main thing is about, I hate talking about stuff if I don't have a fix. Me,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So it's like you'll probably hear me shut up if I don't have a fix or an opinion of a fix because it's bad. Man. This is a great topic because it is very bad. But,
And I have to interject, and I know that I've been doing that. So instead of interrupt, I'm ready to interject. Yeah, I've been feeling bad, but what you said before, if you had a line. So what we are doing since 2017, we have a support group called. Now check this out. The whole thing about it is mental wellness. So technically, and I can give all the information. I'm gonna drop it. I mean, we really work hard for it. But a person could call in at the time we have prescribed and say, I want to kill myself. We dead. And it's a group of individuals like us. You know what I mean? Just don't get no social workers, no this, no that. We've been doing this since 2017 because it was a free conference call. And we was like, yo, the way this works, we don't have the podcast because the idea for me with the podcast, it's really hard to do a podcast with remote users, more than 4. We're talking about 6. We're talking about more that have some control. So that's an interesting aspect. And I've looked at all different type of services, but if you're going to do a support group style podcast that is so much needed where people can follow real issues, you need multiple users. Now, true enough, I'm talking from an audio perspective. I know you have Zoom and things like that, but not everybody, when they're jogging or doing things, they just want to hear the audios, same whole point from that. So from that perspective, we have a support group. It's every first and third Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time of the month, every month, the first and third Tuesday. You just call the number, and I'll throw it in right now. It's 302-202-1108. That's 302-202-1108. And to join is just 738-5556. 738-556. But it's free for an hour. We have a moderator. Her name is Daisy. And people just call. We go around, ask people how you feeling. We give them up to 6 minutes to speak because we got to spread it. It's only an hour. People are volunteering their time to just talk about whatever.